Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Jessica Hopkins. She's the Harrison County Extension Agent for Horticulture. We're going to talk about composting.
So, composting is essentially taking particles and decomposing them, breaking it down. It's something that happens in nature, but in our homes, we can make that process happen, kind of replicating nature by using a compost bin and trying to make that process happen a little bit quicker so that we can end up with some good organic matter. One of the things a lot of people like to do with their organic matter is use it on their garden. So it can be a source for that.
Yeah, and so we are taking some food waste, right? That's primarily food waste, yard waste.
Correct. Yeah. So alleviating some of that that's going to the landfill that can be used for a better purpose is one of the main reasons that people do compost.
Anybody can do this.
Absolutely. So it can be as complicated as you want to make it, but there are some basics that we can talk about that will make it less complicated for the homeowner. So there's a lot of different options. There are composting bins that you can have indoors in the kitchen. The majority would be your food waste. You can literally have just a pile, and that is going to be a slower method of composting, but it totally works. Or you can make or purchase a composting barrel that is going to be something that is enclosed, and those actually work very, very quickly because one of the things with composting is you've got heat from the sun that is going to be warming up that area, and the hotter it gets, the better those microorganisms can go in there and start breaking down all of those products. So whether it be enclosed or a pile or in some type of constructed, a lot of people will put up like pallets or some sort of walls to put their compost in their backyard. The heat from the sun is going to assist with that. One of the ways that we get the compost to move a little bit quicker is to get it hot. The wintertime doesn't help with that, but it's still a process, and you can start this composting at any time of the year. It's just going to move a little bit slower in the winter.
Some of it's trial and error, knowing
Absolutely.
how much green matter, brown matter, those type of things. And so
Right.
talking about that, what do we put
Yeah.
into our compost bin?
So the green matter is considered your proteins, and then the brown matter is considered your carbon or your carbohydrates. There is a good ratio. We want 25-1 with brown stuff and green stuff. So outside works, that's why it works really well, maybe better than indoors. Take discarded plants or leaves that you've raked up from your yard, sticks and twigs, any of that can be your brown matter. If you've got containers on your front porch from the summer that had flowers in them and now the flowers have died, as long as there's no disease or anything in there, you can dump all of that into your compost bin. One of the things we want to avoid when we're talking about brown matter, though, is if it's grass clippings or leaves, if there's been any kind of disease or any kind of spray that has been applied, we don't necessarily want to put that into our compost if we are using it for our garden. Because at the end, this will turn into what we call organic matter, which is kind of like what you see or what you can envision if you were buying like a potting mix that is already prepared in a bag. It's going to be a similar consistency to that, and we can apply that back to our garden. And when we apply that to our garden, if there are any weed seeds or any type of spray residue, any type of disease that you could still have some spores hanging out, we don't want to be applying that back to our garden. It is a slow process, and in the winter it's an even slower process. Most of your kitchen scraps can go in, and that is going to be some of your green matter that you mentioned. One thing to avoid, though, is an animal product. Okay, we don't want to have meat, we don't want to have any type of milk or dairy products that are going in. And some of the reason for that is, one, it takes a long time to decompose those, but two, and probably more important, is it's going to bring critters into your yard. Now you can put eggshells, but don't necessarily put like full eggs. So there are some publications available. You can search that on your own, but definitely stop by your extension office or call your extension office. As agents, we are happy to locate those publications and that information for you or answer, specific questions.
Thanks for watching and have a great day.